Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of June 22nd, 2020. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
This week we are complaining about how we should know better and obsessing about things that we think are fancy. We're also taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we're talking about Father's Day, which was yesterday as you hear this. And Terry found a funny collection of tweets about Mother's Day versus Father's Day. So how does it go in your house? Do you celebrate one more or less than the other? Or do you celebrate them differently, the same? How's it go in your house, Terry?
Well, at this point, we don't celebrate either one particularly much. We don't exchange gifts. We generally exchange cards. This year I've told my husband, I know you don't want me to go to a store, so you're not going to get a card. And the kids aren't going to get you a card either. So we've made an agreement on that. And I said, in return, you don't have to get me a cards for my birthday. But I mean, early days, I think he barbecued for Father's Day, which is doesn't seem fair, but okay. And more recently, we just, both Mother's Days and Father's Day for us now is basically we go out someplace to eat, and that's it. Mm-hmm. This year we're, ordering in from a restaurant that he likes. So, it's not a big deal. But boy, when we first got the kids home, Mother's Day was a humongous deal. It was super duper. I mean, I had been sitting in church on Mother's Day watching those other women get to stand up for so many years. And then it was my turn, Yay. And then I think it was, I want to think it wasn't my first Mother's Day, but there was one Mother's Day where my husband was going to take his mother and me out for Mother's Day, but he didn't make reservations. And so every place we went, he thought we could just go, had lines out the door and you couldn't get in. And we wound up at some crappy diner off the side of the highway. And I was super ticked and in a mood for the rest of the day where I should have just been saying, hey, I'm here with my family. That's what Mother's Day is all about. But it was like, you didn't plan anything. So I am significantly less hyper about it now.
You're more chill now.
More chill. Just get me a nice dinner from somewhere or take me someplace and, a diner on the side of the highway for breakfast, that's A-okay.
I love diners.
Yeah. There's some diners in town that we like, but it was just basically what it was is a step up from, let's just drive through McDonald's and go home. It was like we had stopped at a whole bunch of places and finally it was, this place is open and we can get in, which probably doesn't speak highly of it. And it was, I think more the lack of planning than the exact venue. But,
yes.
That was not a good Mother's Day. I think after that, I felt like I should probably chill for the rest of my life. So, it's not a huge deal here, but I do find it amusing. The difference in the way Father's Day is presented in terms of things to buy your father and Mother's Day.
Right.
I've always had trouble with cards and things for both my dad and my husband because my dad, he might throw something on the grill once in a while, but he's not a grill person. He doesn't play golf. He doesn't tinker in a workshop. These stereotypical things that every single card has on
the fishing card.
Yeah, absolutely none of them ever apply to my dad or usually my husband either. So.
Yeah.
Hallmark needs to address that.
They need to have a picture of a dad sitting on the couch with a laptop.
Yes. Mine would be a dad sitting on a couch watching TV. Actually, they do have some of those. Mm-hmm. I had to laugh, though. There's a podcast I listened to has been advertising these man crates. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's supposed to get this for dad. And I went to look at it, and they're basically all whiskey, beef jerky, or barbecue stuff. I'm like, none of this would be of any. There's a beer aficionado crate, microbrewery kit, and then sports stuff. It's there's nothing here, a fancy remote and a the latest Leonard Maltin book, if they're still making those, and some TV guide would probably be the one for my guy. So it's like, not fitting the Father's Day mold very well, is he? Thank goodness, because I wouldn't want a guy who would want any of these things. Seriously, beef jerky is a thing, I guess.
Oh, we have a store in our next town called All Things Jerky that has like every, all different animals.
I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if I was hungry, but I'm not going to actively seek it out.
Buy a whole crate of it. No.
Oh, man. I got to think that would do things to your insides that would not be pretty.
What goes on at your house, Nicole, for Father's Day?
Oh, I feel like it's a little bit more, it's just a little bit more extravagant.
Really?
Only because I'm involved. So it's a little bit more, I shouldn't say extravagant, it's a little bit more creative. Mother's Day.
That's nice.
In my house is lovely, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You got a vacuum cleaner.
I did get a vacuum cleaner. And,
which you wanted. It wasn't an insult. You wanted it.
It wasn't. I wanted it, and I love it, and I use it all the time. So there's definitely a routine in my house for Mother's Day in terms of breakfast items and what happens and, what we do and whatnot. So with Father's Day, like I tend to, add a few things here and there. So it's, yeah, but we still, they're both great days and we're lucky that, we get to celebrate that. So
that's a good way to look at it. We're lucky to be able to celebrate them.
Yeah.
So we should embrace whatever comes along.
Yes. Yeah. I tend to think ahead more about what it's going to look like. I don't necessarily think about it the morning of.
Yeah. See, I don't think about it at all. So it's like my poor husband. Fortunately, he does not care at all.
Well, you've thought about the fact that you're going to order food.
There you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And I made him sit down and tell me it was okay, look at the menu and say, is this okay? And he said yes. So he's done his bit.
And you don't have to go anywhere because it's a pandemic. So that's
right. Well, he has to go pick the food up, but other than that.
Oh, you're not going to pick it up?
I'm not going to pick it up. I have not driven a car. I have not left my house except for a walk since mid-March.
Wow.
I am quarantining.
Wow.
Man, I've never worn the mask I bought because I've never been anywhere I needed it. Just staying home. I haven't even ridden in a car, much less driven one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like working 18 hours a day and then sleeping, so there's really not that much opportunity to be out on the town, but still.
Maybe that could be like a Father's Day activity you could take
I could go for a ride. Take me for a ride, Dad.
A Sunday drive.
Is the world still out there? Have zombies taken over?
We said we didn't have any pandemic topics this week, but here we go.
Just can't stay away. What's it like? What's Father's Day like in your house? I understand your husband is in charge of the gifts.
Yeah. I mean, as I've lamented many times on this podcast, he is very hard to buy for because he buys himself things. And then his birthday is, 3 weeks before Father's Day. So it's hard enough coming up with one gift, let alone two.
Right.
So, gifts tend to be fairly minimal for Father's Day, if there are any. And, this year he's already bought himself several electronic things in recent months. So, yeah, that's going to cover it for me.
And with each one, did you say that's your Father's Day gift?
I didn't say it at the time, but I will say it. I said it on the day of Father's Day. Yeah, I mean, for Mother's Day, I do tend to get a gift of some kind and get breakfast, usually we don't go out, but the family makes it. And, it's sort of like a birthday where you get what you want to eat for as many meals as is practical and you don't have to do various household chores and things like that. That's
Right.
kind of how both of those days tend to go.
Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff anyway, so that wouldn't be much. But today, Mom, you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Mhm.
Free pass.
I made my family watch the Muppet movie with me on Mother's Day this year. Maybe I should let my husband force us to watch something of interest to him.
Yeah.
We'll all sit around in a warm family unit and watch a Fast and the Furious movie. It'll be so fun. He's got a couple on the DVR, all ready to go.
Wow.
John Wick something we'll
Yeah.
watch together.
Ours would be Adam Sandler.
We'll have the children count the number of deaths as they go by. Well, on that sweet note of family unity, we will say that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2 and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.